like, damn, slow down. I know you see a queen adjusting her crown. She been knocked down, but she never stayed down. She be living life like it's her playground. And they be like, damn, slow down. They can't catch us, she be moving too fast.
Oh my God. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. It is exactly the afternoon where I'm at. It's only 12:03. I'm about 3 minutes late from starting this live, but how is everyone doing? I am so happy to be back. I'm sorry that I could not go live earlier this week. If y'all look at my communities tab, then y'all know that basically if I'm not getting paid to be on here, I'm not gonna be on here. Like, and it's not even the fact that YouTube pays a lot. It's just the principle. The fact that they keep limiting or removing my ads is just crazy. But I wanted to come on here and talk about HollyWEIRD and everything that's going on surrounding Tiffany Haddish and that Ari guy. Hey Pine, hey AK. Because I feel like this situation, and then y'all know that R. Kelly is currently on trial. So that situation is just on top of like Nickelodeon being exposed and like Disney stars exposing Disney. It just, we really need to talk about HollyWEIRD because HollyWEIRD is definitely, it stands true to the name. Like when I was growing up, I heard people always refer to Hollywood as HollyWEIRD, and I didn't understand it because I'm like, what's so bad about Hollywood? Like everyone wants to be rich, everyone wants to be famous, but I feel like when we get to that point, or when these people get to that point, we forget that they are people too. So they're likely to be flawed, they're likely to be evil people. Nothing changed about their character. The only thing that changed was their level of success, and people equate success into righteousness, and it's not true. It's not true at all. And I feel like as a culture, we have to change that even more than ever now, because just because you're rich does not mean that you're holy and sanctified. It's just like when I was covering the TD Jakes family. Like those people are supposed to be holy and sanctified. They are actually wealthy, but they are battling demons, baby. They are battling demons. So I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come in here. Has anyone actually took a deep dive into the video that is getting so much backlash that Tiffany Haddish and her co-star Ari did? I didn't see. So yesterday when I was looking for the video, I didn't see the full thing. I saw like a little clip of it and I was like, But then today, right before my live, I was actually scrolling on Facebook and I seen the whole video and I was like, absolutely not. Like the one I saw yesterday was absolutely not. But the fact that I saw the full one, no. Hey, Petunia. So, for the people that don't know, Tiffany Haddish is currently being sued, and the guy, Ari, whatever his name is, I don't even know who that man is. I'm sorry, I've never heard of him a day in my life. So I was like, who is this man? But Tiffany Haddish and her friend, which is her co-star, Ari, is currently being sued by siblings and their parents. And basically what they're being sued for is for exploitation and of these minors and grooming the minors. And what they're referring to, what the parents and the siblings is referring to, is the fact that the two siblings, which was a boy and a girl, they were hired to do these videos that Tiffany used to do, where she used to upload them on a website called Funny or Die. So in the series of videos, they were supposed to be exploring the mind of P words. Y'all know what the P word is. So that was the whole basis of the video, right? And that is not far-fetched, because if anybody does not know, comedy is one of those avenues that really does stay down into trending topics. So if we take it for face value, it sounds like, okay, so we're going to explore this because we're going to talk about it and be a part of the change, right? We're going to continue to call out these P words. So taking it for face value, that is what was supposed to happen. Well, the videos did not go that way. There were two different videos. One video was highlighting the girl and one video was highlighting the boy. In the video highlighting the girl, Tiffany Haddish was teaching her how to do things with her mouth while eating a sandwich. In the video of the boy, Tiffany Haddish was leaving the little boy with his uncle, which is the co-star Ari, and the uncle was playing, or the little boy did not have any clothes on, only underwear, and the uncle was playing R. Kelly's "I Don't See Nothing Wrong" song and was rubbing oil on him, and the little boy had his legs up. It was highly disgusting. And at the end, allegedly, I did not see this. It was supposed to be a think piece, but it's a really weird, really tone deaf think piece because it made absolute no sense. And the main reason that it did not make any sense, mind you, this happened back in 2014. The main reason why it didn't make sense was, in my opinion, if we're going to explore the minds of a P word, I'm like, why? Like, why are we exploring their minds? Because even after we explore it, it's not okay. Period, point blank. Should they get help? Yes. But we don't need to explore their minds. We actually need to advocate for the children that are assaulted. And for Tiffany Haddish, if you guys did not know, she is a survivor of SA. I read her book, and prior to this incident, I really did I did not like Tiffany as far as I thought she was funny, but I did like her story. She has a very good story to tell. She was SA um by a police officer. So for her to be this tone deaf in this type of two videos is just it's never going to be okay. Like, never ever ever. But my main thing is, if this happened back in 2014, and the parents and the siblings are alleging that their life has significantly been hindered because of this, like the little boy can't really interact with people, he doesn't really know how to be, like he's really not living a valuable life, so they're suing for X amount of dollars. Before the lawsuit came forth, they did, Tiffany and Ari, the guy, did try to settle for, I believe, $15,000 or something like that. They did try to settle, so there would be no lawsuit, but the family did decline that. Hey, Petunia. Hey, Pure. The family did decline that offer. So they have now set forth with the lawsuit. For me, I, when it comes to Hollywood, there are people that fuel Hollywood and or HollyWEIRD, shall I say. And the main people that I believe that fuel this is the parents. Like Petunia said, the parents are just as guilty. If we think about this instant where these kids were casted for this weird video, the moment I saw my child, hey Ty, the moment I saw my child being filmed with only underwear on, would have been a red flag. It would have been an absolute no. The moment I felt uneasy or felt like my child should not be subjected to this, it would have been an absolute no. Most of the times in think pieces or in educational videos, they do not use real children. And the main reason why they do not use real children is because children are impressionable. There's nothing that we should not be subjecting them to that type of things. So if they really wanted to do a video about inside the minds of a P word, which still in my head does not make sense, ideally you actually use adults that look like children, right? So like me without makeup on, I look like a child. Like, I really look like a high schooler. So I would ideally be casted for children roles, high school roles, because of course we're not going to hire real children to do this sick stuff on. Hey, Vicky. But the fact that they did this speaks volumes, and the fact that the parents allowed it speaks even more volumes, because HollyWEIRD is funded and fueled by the parents' consent. And what I have noticed is, once the parents see that they have an opportunity to make money, they go after it. And that's just my honest opinion, because if this happened and you guys are alleging that their children, or that these two children have been highly subjected to mistreatment, that their value of life is wrong, why y'all don't call the police? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something, there's not a red cent that would ever make me turn a blind eye or justify what has happened to my children. I want the highest extent of law to be pursued. Like, I want people locked up so they won't do this again. I want people fired from their jobs. I don't want your money. I don't. Hey, Nia. So for me, if this happened back in 2014, why are y'all just now, oh sorry, my screen blinked, why are y'all just now doing something, or not just now doing something, but why are y'all only going out of financial compensation? I just truly do not understand it. I'm not saying that they're lying, because they're not. That video was highly disturbing. It was disgusting. However, the parents need to be held accountable too. You're not getting no money. Should the children get money? Absolutely. There are children laws for a reason, especially children worker laws. So they should be, financially compensated for what happened to them. But then parents to be trying to spearhead some type of lawsuit is not sitting well with me. It's the same as the things that go on with R. Kelly. For these parents to be taking their goddamn minor children to their concerts, letting R. Kelly be these kids' goddaddies, letting R. Kelly be alone with them in hopes of them pursuing their dreams and getting rich and famous to go to HollyWEIRD is not right. They fuel HollyWEIRD. HollyWEIRD would not be what it is if the parents did not continuously exploit and neglect their children for the sake of money. And when these parents do not get what they want, they still try to go after the money by doing these lawsuits and doing these type of things. Should Tiffany Haddish be canceled? Hell yes. Was that video highly disturbing? Hell yes. But baby, Tiffany, Ari, and the rest of the people in HollyWEIRD is not going to stop because of this lawsuit. And that is the sad reality of it. They stop when parents stop sending their children to do these weird ass things. Period, point blank. Do they just do it to be able to sue them? It's sick. Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like these parents, because, okay, if we think about Keke Palmer, Keke Palmer is a Black child star that has a great following, sense of trustworthiness. Like, people really like her. She basically, I grew up watching Keke Palmer. And if you guys watch her interviews for being a child star into now being in her adulthood, she always says that her mama did not play that. And when she says it because she wants people to understand that some parents did. She's like, my mama wasn't letting me go here, there, and everywhere. And she even spoke about the one time that she did not listen to her mama and she went to the party or video shoot for Trey Songz. Something bad happened, or something bad almost happened. Like, she said that her mama really kept her rooted and grounded and away from that stuff. It was so bad that even Keke said that she at one point trusted R. Kelly. Like, she didn't understand why people were saying all those bad things about R. Kelly. Now, was she ever left alone with R. Kelly? No, none of those things. But once she actually got all of the details, she was like, oh, absolutely not. He is really a monster. Now, she was defending him because she never saw anything with her own two eyes, but she didn't realize that that was because of her mother's protection. So that is what I mean when I say parents have the way of fueling this HollyWEIRD energy. If all these parents are only looking at the dollar amount that their children are able to receive and the life that they're able to live, then yes, they'll let their children do these crazy things like drugs, staying out all night, putting trust into executive producers, label people, directors. Like, they do all this because all they want is their children to be famous and grow up and to be famous and to be rich. And they literally stop parenting. Meanwhile, Keke Palmer has literally had fame, has so many accolades, and her mom has never stopped parenting. Yes, Vicky, a lot of child stars have spoken out on this. If you guys like, so I grew up, of course, in the Nickelodeon era and the Disney era. There are so many stars, white and black, that speak about what has happened to them on these sets, what they have been made to do, how they have been drugged to stay awake, how they have been forced to do alcohol, forced to wear things, could not be children. And even some of the skits that they have had to do were highly inappropriate. It's that one girl from, I think the show is called Sam and Cat. It had Ariana Grande in it, and it was another lady that had blonde hair. She just wrote a memoir about her experience being on Nickelodeon, how she was um drugged, how she was abused mentally, physically, SA'd, all that. It was really, really sad. Yes, Pine, Drew Barrymore is another one. She was an alcoholic as a kid. Shirley Temple was another one that was drugged. The star from The Wizard of Oz, she was a child, and they drugged her to keep her up so she could film all the scenes and so she wouldn't get big. It's so much that happens, but I truly believe that there's even more that happens that we don't even know, because HollyWEIRD is so freaking weird. It's really, really weird. So while we are holding Tiffany Haddish accountable and the guy Ari accountable, yes, it's what those videos were sick. But I'm not turning a blind eye to those parents, because they were fully aware of what those children, what happened to them. They watched the video. I'm not understanding why y'all wouldn't have watched the video. Now, it is alleged, and I could not find proof of this, but allegedly, when Tiffany Haddish and Ari were filming these Funny or Die videos, the particular two videos that are now being, sued, or that they're being sued for, they were allegedly removed from Funny or Die immediately because they did not think that it was funny. They did not think that it was a think piece. They did not, they did not like it. So they did remove it off his platform. But I'm unsure of how it got to the point of still being online. Like, I don't know if they put it on YouTube after Funny or Die deleted it. I don't know if they put it on their personal pages. I don't know. Like, that part I do not get. So I'm going to keep doing some digging, or if someone in the chat knows what happened with that, please let us know. Okay, so Vicky and Ty, you guys are asking what happened. So Tiffany Haddish, before she got her strike to fame, like before she really blew up, she was doing these videos that she would produce on a platform called Funny or Die. She had a co-star named Aries, and this man is a guy, and they would just do different skits. Like, they always did different skits. It would be they would be couples, and others they would be colleagues, and just funny, like, the skits that are still trending till today. They were doing those. Well, they decided to do a video about inside the mind of a P word. Why? We do not know. And it was a two-part series where they had a girl and a guy, and in the girl video, it was with a child. It was a little girl. They were siblings, a boy and a girl. But in the girl video, Tiffany Haddish was teaching her how to do things with her mouth while eating a sandwich. And in the boy video, Tiffany was the boy's auntie, and she had left him with the uncle, which is the Ari guy. And the little boy had no clothes on, only underwear. He was laying down. He was doing like thrusting positions because he was playing with a toy truck. And while he was doing all this, the uncle was supposed to be reading a newspaper, but the uncle had cut out eye holes and was watching the little boy through the newspaper and was playing R. Kelly's song, I Don't See Nothing Wrong, with a little bump and grind. And he was spraying oil on the little boy's back. It was really disgusting. The little boy was playing with the truck and had his legs wide open, and the uncle was just looking at him. And they say that at the end of the video, it was supposed to be like a this is the inside of a P word, and it was supposed to be like a think piece, which, like I said earlier in my video, for the people that's just arriving, this is not far-fetched, because a lot of people, especially Black comedians, talk about real problems through comedy. That is so true. They are a lot of comedians, if you know what you're doing, they really do pioneer some of the social changes through comedy. This one was not it. It was not it. It will never be it. And it was very tone deaf. It was very inappropriate. It was very nasty. Especially from Tiffany Haddish, who is a SA survivor. For her to even do this, weird, like straight up weird. So once it was published, Funny or Die, which was the platform kind of similar to YouTube, removed the videos. I'm not sure how they continue to circulate, but the family is now suing Tiffany Haddish and Ari for these videos, saying that the two children that was in these videos basically have had a hard life, their value of life has went down, and basically seeking financial compensation for grooming. That's the word that they use: grooming and exploitation of minors. Super weird. Super weird. Now this happened back in 2014. And they're just now, of course, the documents are just now published because Tiffany Haddish and Ari did try to settle for what I believe was $15,000, and the family did decline. So they are now, going to court for it. Tiffany Haddish and Ari is no, they're not being charged criminally. This is a civil matter, and like I was saying in my earlier points, I don't understand why none of these stars or celebrities are ever charged criminally. They're never charged criminally. It's always civilly. And we know that it's hard to do these type of cases because of the statute of limitations. And we know that a lot of people do not come forward. SA victims, it's hard to get them to come forward. A lot of them do not get justice. But HollyWEIRD is really fueled by two things: money, because of course when you got money you can do a lot more things. So it's fueled by money and it's fueled by kids, pure point blank. So many kids have been failed, and they will never be normal because in their adolescence they were wronged and continuously wronged and told that it's gonna be okay, this is what you got to do to be rich and famous. A lot of child stars, like think of Raz B from B2K. He is still struggling till this day. This man is an adult. This man is no longer in a group, no longer a part of HollyWEIRD, and he feels like he never got justice for what Chris Stokes did to him and others. And he is a grown man that is on the internet crying and pouring his heart out every single day because people ignored him. And it's really, really sad. It's really, really sad. And he is just one of many. And then what make it so sad is a lot of these child stars that were victims then grow up in HollyWEIRD and become the villains. So they start to hurt children. They start to do things um that happen to them. They start to rationalize and normalize it. Yes, Petunia, they continue to ignore Rasby like no other. Like Armarion exploiting him in his new documentary and showing how he was crying and visibly shaken and scared of just looking at Chris Stokes. And Rasby spoke up and was like, Armarion, why would you put my raw feelings out there without my consent? Why would you do this? You are further triggering me. You are further, hurting me. Why would you do this? They don't care. They do not care. Pure said, didn't that happen to Willis from Different Strokes? I'm not sure what exactly happened to Willis. I'm actually gonna copy the link or drop the link and let people call in. What are y'all thoughts on this Tiffany Haddish and HollyWEIRD situation? Do you guys blame? Do you guys think that parents need to be charged with neglect and child abuse? Because I absolutely do. Like I feel like if these children are being abused at work, the job can be charged. Child labor laws are real. But these parents letting these kids go places with grown ass people and no supervision is weird to me. And I feel like they should be charged with neglect. CPS should take them, and the children should not be allowed to work. It's just like on YouTube. YouTube still um, does not protect children. They still do not protect the exploitation of children. They claim that they were going to turn off comments and stop this, but y'all already know I did a video on it, and YouTube recommends children videos to P words, period, point blank. It's the truth. And they don't care about the protection of children. They don't care. These kids be on here half dressed, exposed, being pranked, being mistreated, and YouTube will not take these videos down. YouTube will not remove the ads. These videos and these ads are put on these videos, and it continues to be watched. YouTube, now we know that adults watch YouTube, hello, duh, but the main people that watch YouTube is children. Period, point blank. They're watching videos that are for them and not for them. Exactly. What will the money do? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Y'all suing for money, and that it's just not right. Like, maybe, yeah, go after the money, but they need to be criminally charged. They need to be canceled from their jobs. They need to be removed from their sponsorships. All of that. Y'all not even asking for that. Like, the people is. So now we have the people saying, "Oh my God, we need to cancel Tiffany. We need to make sure she never works again. Oh my God, are you going to address these allegations?" And it's not at this point, in my opinion, it's not even an allegation. I saw the video. It was disgusting. It was grooming. It was definitely exploiting children. But what about the mama who left her kids on set? That is neglect. That is child endangerment. That is putting your child in danger. It's weird to me. Like, these parents of these child stars in HollyWEIRD are never held accountable. All of the victims for R. Kelly, none of the parents are ever held accountable. And yes, I am even speaking on the late Aaliyah. Her mother should have been held accountable. Her daughter singing about sex at 14 with a grown ass man 15 years older than her is unacceptable for the sake of a career. Mm-mm. And then to try to back it up with gospel lyrics and Bible verses, it's not gonna fly with me. She should be held accountable. Period, point blank. She endangered her children. The people that took their children to these R. Kelly concerts and claimed that the children just ran off. No, they didn't. You took them to a pedophile's concert. That man has allegations, but y'all don't see that for what it is. Y'all see him as a good person because he makes good music and he has money, and y'all equate money to um being good and being wholesome, and it's not true. It's actually the opposite. Money is the root of all evil. India, they have so much immunity. Look at Sparkle's niece. So Sparkle's niece is getting dragged more than Sparkle, R. Kelly, and everybody else because they're alleging that Sparkle's niece lied. And they're saying this because basically she did. And this is why. So I'll be honest. So back in 2000, I believe, when all those tapes was dropped and R. Kelly was put in court the first time, or taken to jail the first time, there was a video and they asked her, "Is this you in the video?" She said no. And that is why R. Kelly allegedly got off, because they cannot prove that, who was the quote unquote child in the video that he was peeing on, right? So here we are, 15, 20 years later, and now she's brave enough to come forth and talk about what happened to her and how she was groomed. And she's basically saying that Sparkle, her auntie, told her to ask R. Kelly to be her goddad, to sit on R. Kelly's lap, be nice to him, like everybody, the parents too. And she's basically saying that's why she, one, felt like an unwavering love for him, because she was told to trust him. She was told to be nice to him. She was told to do these things. So it's kind of hard to rewrite that. Two, she was embarrassed. Three, she was in shame. Like, the list goes on and on. She's a victim, for goodness sakes. We don't need to know more than we get it. But now Sparkle is like, "I'm not gonna let you ruin my career and ruin my name. Had I known anything happened to you, I would have protected you." And it's like, no, 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 no. It's just like people who live in regular everyday lives. I'm not sending my kids to everybody's house. I'm not. I have no money. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. These people have no money, no fame, no nothing. And my kids ain't going to nobody's goddamn house without me. They're not sitting up for hours on end at nobody's house without me. I have to know these people. I have to walk around their house. I have to know their parents. The fact that y'all leaving y'all children with a grown ass man is never okay. And the fact that the grown ass man wants to be around children is not okay. This grown man don't have kids. This grown man does not own a daycare. This grown man is in the studio singing about provocative music. And no, not all provocative people are pedophiles or predators. But what I'm saying is, once the allegations got out there, everybody had to do their part to protect children, and they did not. And HollyWEIRD is continuously doing this. So this Tiffany Haddish situation, it is weird to me. The parents are weird. They are weird. Why are y'all only going after money? The children only know how to fight based off of what their parents are fighting for. So do I believe that the children um are victims and that they are having a hard time with life? Yes, because it's weird. Those videos were weird. But do they have the tools to know, like, I could go after them legally and try to get them put in jail or put them away, or do things. I can try to see if this has happened to anyone else. No, because the parents told them that they can get money. Yes, that wife needs to be charged as well. The daughter is alleging that she didn't get a record deal because of R. Kelly. Like, they're just weird. They're so weird. Yes, the R. Kelly stuff is really, really, it's hard. It's hard. Like, I give it up to the plainest Jane here on YouTube. Yeah, I know she got really big last year covering the first R. Kelly trial with when it came to racketeering and everything. But now this one she's also covering, and this is more along the lines of his sex crimes, and she's doing an amazing job. And I don't know how, like, sometimes I can't even get through the whole videos because it's really hard to listen to, and I don't know how she's even able to talk about it the way she does. Yeah, Vicky, Andrea Kelly, she knew everything, and it speaks volumes that she won't change her last name. She will not remove that last name from her. Like, these people really think we can separate the monster from the music, and you really can't. I truly believe this. This is just how I grew up, and I'm not knocking people who don't believe this, but I grew up knowing or being told that music and movies cast spells, like they cast a spell. So I'm not gonna play R. Kelly's music because of the things that he's saying in it. He's the devil, right? Like, that's just how I was taught. So I'm not able to separate the two. I'm not able to watch movies from these sick people and be like, it was still such a great movie. That man was a monster, but he came up with art. Like, I was told that the devil was once an angel. So I don't rock with it. I can't separate R. Kelly from his music. I don't even like his music, like his lyrics. Like, no, no. And it's so weird because on TikTok, his song is trending. Like, everybody and their mama is literally doing the dance to this song, Shake, Shake, Shake. Oh my God, Pine. So I have not got to the Hugh Hefner story. I just finished watching the Playboy, the Playboy story. So the story about how, like, that all came to be, but I did not watch the Hugh Hefner story all the way yet. I need to. Or maybe, hold on, wait. I think I'm confused. I think correct me, because I think that was the Hugh Hefner story, and it was just called Playboy. But the little girl whose dad worked for Hugh Hefner, and he basically groomed her. Hugh Hefner groomed her. Is that what you're talking about, Pine? Because if so, I did watch that. It was on A&E. I watched it. Yes, Vicky. Yeah, he calls himself the Pied Piper. Yeah, yeah. Grandmas know. I told y'all, my grandma. My grandma ain't been wrong yet, baby. She ain't been wrong yet. I appreciate the things that she taught me. Cause now, as an adult, baby, she really knew. She really knew. She didn't like her. I told y'all this all the time. She didn't like Kirk Franklin. Look at his ass. She don't like TV Jakes. Look at him. Look, I told y'all she don't even like Obama, but he ain't had no scandal yet. But she don't like him either. But she ain't been wrong yet. My grandma, she keeps us rooted. So, moving on to my last piece. I wanted to talk about Kanye West, y'all. And I know that some people feel a way about Kanye West. I know that some people like him and some people do not like him. A lot of people love the Kardashians, so they think that he is abusive to Kim. But what are y'all thoughts on him basically arguing with uh Kim about where the kids go to school? Now, I do feel like it's a setup by Todd. They love to make it seem like Kanye is crazy. Now, does Kanye have his problems? Yes. But as a parent, he does make sense. Back when he was trying to protect the oldest child, North, from being on the internet, he made sense. Kim claims that that's what she likes to do to express herself, so she's going to allow her child to express herself. Again, that goes back to HollyWEIRD mentality. No, my children are not expressing themselves on this sick ass internet. But with him saying, like, my children don't need to go to these schools, they're a minority. I want them to go to, now, mind you, I don't really know nothing about this school of Donda. So I'm like, sir, I can't really follow you. But I do agree with him, being the voice of reason about maybe our children should go to schools that are more, where they don't feel less than and they feel like they can be around their peers and be equal then. And he did say a text like, is it because you're half white? And for me, this is where I'd be like, Kanye, you'll be missing the point sometimes. You knowingly and willingly married this woman that is half white. You willingly and knowingly knew her privilege. And yes, we are very clear. I'm saying privilege. You did not think about this before you procreated. So now that you guys have 4 children together, you are now trying to be the strong black man and make sure that your children grow to be strong, I guess, biracial children, mixed children, whatever you want it to be, and still have that groundingness of black, but you didn't do your part in vetting her. This is all that Kim knows. This is Kim's life. She grew up privileged, period, point blank. Her father was a lawyer. Her mother was a housewife. Once her father passed away, her mother then married an Olympian white man. That's really who she is. That's not to say that she's a bad person. I keep highlighting the word privilege for a reason. Everyone with privilege is not bad people. It's just that's just how they are. You can't expect them to change. They don't see nothing wrong with it because that is the life that was given to them. Kanye West never grew up with that. So for him to try to push that on her to get her to understand is a little too late for me. Now, do I think that Kanye is crazy? Not all the way. He does sound like a parent, but too late. Too late. Dovely. So my opinion on Orlando Brown, baby. He's a part of HollyWEIRD. Something happened to that little boy. Something really happened to him. He was fine and dandy on Disney. Now, fine and dandy on film versus in real life, we know that's 2 different things. Once he aged out of Disney and now he's an adult, his life is in shambles. He is battling drug addiction. And I feel like that's a direct indication that something happened to him as a child due to his job. I really feel bad for him. I hate that people laugh at him. I hate that no one protects him or tries to really get him help. He has tried to be sober. I know he just had a baby. But once you battle in that addiction, it's a disease. So I really do feel bad for him. But I do believe him. Something happened to him. I agree. If I got the money, I wouldn't have my baby in public school, but I would want them to be in a mixed environment. Yeah, Jewel, I definitely agree. Like, I know we always talk about those posts on social media, like how old were you when you got your first black teacher and stuff like that. As a black woman, I've said this numerous times. I've never felt like a minority until I became an adult. I was always around people like me. I seen black people in the highest positions, principals, doctors, lawyers, dentists. I've always seen that. I've always seen that. I did not know that there was a thought that we weren't great. Period, point blank. My teacher was black. My first teacher was black. Her name was Mrs. Sample. First black teacher, kindergarten. I couldn't imagine the opposite. My cousin was just saying this about her little girl. She is the only black child at her school. She lives in LA. She feeling like maybe she didn't make the right decision. A little off, but I get it. Yeah. And a lot of people feel like that because when we're pursuing greatness, of course, we want our children to be a part of that. We work hard to give our children better lives. And a lot of people do feel like that. Putting them in a good school can be a gift and a curse at the same time. If y'all do not know or did not know that we really do have our own language. We really do have our own way of talking and communicating. Tests do not cater to Black people. The way that the teachers talk to us do not cater to Black people. We have to be in Black spaces to get it. So I see why some of them struggle with the decision. It's a disease, but it's also a choice at a certain point. Oh, you talking about Orlando Brown Pine? I don't think so. So if y'all did not know, my mom struggled with a drug addiction. I'll just put it out there. She struggled with a drug addiction. And I can absolutely tell y'all, a mother with multiple children. Mind you, my mother had me at 32. She was not a young mom. She went to college. She got a degree. She comes from my grandma was a nurse. My grandfather built houses. She came from a normal family, right? She was in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was at a party and somebody gave her something. And that's how she got addicted to drugs. Every time she tried to stop, she would go to rehab. My dad, so she was a stay-at-home mom when she was with my dad. My dad worked. We was normal. Like we had, or what I thought was normal. We had like such a normal life. Like I knew that my mom was going to cook us dinner, get us ready for school, all that. But then we would have crazy days, like, and I'm not going to get into it, but we would have crazy days. And I never knew at that time as a child that she did drugs. My dad didn't know for a long time that she did drugs either until many years into their relationship and they were trying to have children. That's when he found out. My mom, it's definitely a disease. And I say it's not a choice anymore because even when they want to stop, if they're not in the right spaces, if they are triggered, if they are weak, vulnerable, that disease creeps in. And she's just a regular person. So I can only imagine someone like Orlando Brown and HollyWEIRD. There's not a party that he could go to where they're not doing drugs. There's not a party that he could go to where they're not doing alcohol. There's not a party that he could go to where they're being normal. This is really what happens in HollyWEIRD. And he's also probably doesn't have anyone in his corner that really wants the best from him outside of his immediate family, right? So the people that are giving him jobs, the people that are paying him or helping him survive, they like him being like this. They like him, so they put him in the path of temptation. I don't believe it's a choice after a certain point. Like me, I would never choose to do drugs. I just don't. I rarely even drink. Like it's just not for me. I don't like it because of my childhood. But say that my mom wasn't the way she is and didn't have that happen to her, and maybe I just seen someone doing it and they peer pressured me. It was a choice when I said yes after the peer pressure. But once the addiction sets in, it's definitely a disease. Because I've seen with my own two eyes trying to stop doing good for years and then getting back into it. So it's really hard. And that's without the influence of HollyWEIRD. So yeah, I really do feel bad for Orlando Brown. And I really do feel bad for the two children that was in Tiffany Haddish's video, but them parents ain't shit. That's how I'm in my video. Like I'm sorry. Like Tiffany Haddish, she was wrong. She was very tone deaf. She was very weird for that video, especially because she is a survivor. Um, but it's them parents for me. It's them parents because you should be the same one. You should be the one that's supposed to be protecting your kids. These people out here, they gonna do wrong, but they can only do wrong once they get the consent of the parents. Period. Point blank. Tiffany Haddish don't have no, she don't have no thought process to protect the children that ain't hers, and some people out here, predators, monsters, they know, like, shit, if you ain't gonna protect them, I ain't gonna protect them. Shoot, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get what I want. They're sick. So protect yours at all costs, period, point blank. And I don't feel like going after money is how you protect them. It's just overall weird. It's giving clout wanna be famous. You think that, Jewel, you think that the parents of the two children want to be famous? I don't think they want to be famous. I think they just want money. And this, I mean, they know that this works. They know that if they would have settled, they would have got money. They know if they go to court, they're gonna get money. Period, point blank. Parents sometimes even make their children lie. Like, that's just what they do. All for money though. And when it comes to HollyWEIRD, these people, they know that there's no other way for them to get money, so they gonna do what they know to do. Claim sexual assault. But yeah, I've been on here for almost an hour, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. If you guys are watching the replay, please do not forget to like and subscribe and comment below your thoughts. Hopefully this video will be up, but I think after I press end broadcast, it might turn yellow. I don't know. But I'll see you on the next one.